blizzard was the wrong decision. I don't know. It's late at night. Cake batter sounded good, but it does not taste as good as it sounded. So today, we're gonna keep moving on with our what if Charles Schulz drew the Office characters. All right. These were the first 4 characters that we did. Michael, Dwight, Jim, and Pam. And now we are going to be moving on through the sales department. Today we're going to bang out Stanley, Andy, and Phyllis. Let's do it. All right, Andy. The Nard Dog. Andy's soft. Everything's kind of squishy about Andy, so we're going to give him a nice round head. And then he's got that big smile. All right, and he's got to have his hair. We gotta give him that ear. All right, and the fun part of Andy is the way he's dressed. But let's give him a Charles Schulz-y body here. His shoes should be going the same way his nose is going. Drop an arm down. The key to a Charles Schulz hand is this curve in the wrist that goes into the finger. It can't be one curve. That's what I'm learning as I'm doing these Charles Schulz studies. All right, sweater vest, obviously. But the sweater vest is underneath a jacket. And boom, that's Andy. Cool. All right, let's ink my stink, as Andy would say. All right, let's color this guy. All right, we've got Andrew Bernard. Next up, Phyllis Vance. One thing I'm learning about Charles Schulz that I am learning to admire is the lack of variety he gave his characters, and yet how much unique personality they all have. Schulz chooses to use the same shapes over again, the same bodies, the same noses. Everything is the same except for these little tweaks, and the uniqueness of the character comes in his writing. It's really interesting. To that point, we can't make Phyllis huge. You know, she's a huge character, a very fat character in the Office, but we can't use that to our advantage because Schulz does not discriminate bodies. They are all the same size, and yet so unique. All right, so we are going to give her a little more of that squash head that he uses, and that will indicate a little bit of chub. Her eyes, I'm going to let her glasses sit a little lower, give her a little, ooh, she's surprised. All right, get her shoes in there, and her arm. And what does Phyllis wear? Let's put her in a big purple sweater, and then a skirt. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's ink Phyllis. All right, Phyllis, let's get some color in you. All right. That turned out really well, actually. I'm pretty pleased with that. Phyllis Vance, ladies and gentlemen. All right, last but not least, we have Stanley the Manly. All right, Stanley needs a nice round face also. A little mustache. Okay, now for his hair. It's receding. Yeah, something like that. I think that works. Little neck. I'm getting pretty good at drawing Schulz hands. I'm proud of myself. All right, jacket and a tie. All right, let's ink him. Okay, color this fella. There he is, Stanley. Wow, I love that. That is great. Well, we've got the back end bullpen. We got Stanley, Phyllis, and Andy finished up. Of course, last week we got Dwight, Michael, Jim, and Pam done, all in the universe of Peanuts. I'm loving these. These are looking so great. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, do hit subscribe because there's going to be more of these. Bye.